Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out here for you. So I've got a crazy report coming out that it looks like France is going to be finally sending some troops to Ukraine and acknowledge that they're sending them there for military purposes. So France is going to be sending troops to Ukraine as military instructors to train soldiers. This is absolutely huge news because France has been talking about wanting to do this for a long time now. I'm pretty sure there's been some mercenaries working there and fighting throughout the time of this war, but actual military troops heading to Ukraine to train soldiers, this is very, very big news. And we've been hearing a lot of talk about this. I just reported earlier that three Baltic nations, I think it was Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia, along with Poland, were coming out and agreeing that they were going to send troops to Ukraine and help Ukraine fight if they were to start to lose this war. Now, France did the same thing. Emmanuel Macron was one of the first presidents from any NATO nation to really come out aggressively and say that he would support Ukraine if Ukraine were to start to fall or the front line would break. That's when these Baltic states and Poland started to follow just in the last few days here with the same footsteps. So now, like I said, France is going to be sending troops to Ukraine to train Ukrainian soldiers on their territory instead of doing it in other NATO nations. Okay, so this is huge, huge news. And this is going to open the door to start pushing for more countries, more NATO nations, that is, to start sending their troops to Ukraine. And then before we know it, I really hope this doesn't lead to a ground war between NATO and Russia, okay, because they definitely will not like this. We also have General Alexander Syrsky, the commander of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, coming out as well and saying that he signed the paperwork to allow French military instructors to visit Ukrainian training centers. Okay, so this is going to be definitely major escalation. We'll have to see how Russia responds to this. But I've got some information to go over here with you. We've got a report here on the Telegraph. France to send troops to Ukraine to train soldiers. Kiev's commander-in-chief says he believes the move will encourage other partners to join this ambitious project. So look at that. He's calling it an ambitious project that he expects more NATO nations to do the same thing that France is doing right now, sending military instructors to Ukraine instead of training these soldiers abroad in other countries, other European countries, NATO countries. They're going to start training them there now. And I think this is the beginning and opening the door to sending actual troops to Ukraine, and probably in preparation for Ukraine to maybe not be able to fight this war anymore. Okay, they've been fighting this war for 2 years. We know they are low on troops, low on firepower, although there was a $60 billion aid package passed by Congress just recently in the last couple months. So Ukraine is getting the aid that they need, but it's still not perfect right now. So this war is definitely about to explode over here. And hopefully this does not lead into major escalation with Russia. So it says right here, France will soon start sending troops to Ukraine to train Ukrainian forces in the war-torn country, Kiev's top commander said on Monday. General Alexander Syrsky said paperwork had been signed to allow French military instructors to visit Ukrainian training centers following talks with Sébastien Lecornu, the French defense minister. I welcome France's initiative to send instructors to Ukraine to train Ukrainian military personnel. Crazy. General Syrsky wrote on Telegram messaging app. I've already signed the documents that will allow the first French instructors to visit our training centers as soon and familiarize themselves with their infrastructure and staff. So these guys are going to be working inside of Ukraine, training the military there. And this is just absolutely insane news. I can't believe it. I believe that France's determination will encourage other partners to join this ambitious project. Ukraine's commander-in-chief offered no details on the first French deployments. The French defense minister said, as already mentioned several times, training on Ukrainian soil is one of the projects discussed since the conference on support for Ukraine convened by the President of the Republic on February 26. Like all the projects discussed at that time, this track continues to be the subject of work with the Ukrainians, in particular to understand their exact needs. So obviously the needs are that they need more troops on the ground. They need more help. We can clearly see that. And we know that Ukraine has been struggling in this war, like I've said many times. And we know that they're short on troops as well, even in the Kharkiv region. I just reported probably about like a week or two ago that Ukraine was stating that they were completely out of reserve troops in case there were to be another offensive opening up in that region, maybe in the Sumy region or the Cherniv region, I think is how you say it. If those regions were to open up another front, Ukraine would not even have the reserve troops to fill the ranks in those areas. So we know that Ukraine is very low on troops, and I know that Russia's expecting to try to launch another attack in those areas too. So this could be the reason why we're seeing these troops going to Ukraine. It could be for training, or it could be a cover, who knows, for them to just start sending troops over there, because we know that they're preparing for Ukraine to maybe fall apart on the front line. That's been talked about a lot as well. And, don't get me wrong, I stand for Ukraine being able to defend themselves. And, if they need the help, they need the help. It is what it is. But the major concern here, I think, that most people are probably worried about is the escalation behind this, okay? The escalation of war between NATO and Russia. And I don't think anybody wants NATO to go to war with Russia, because that would include so many countries around the world. And it would be terrible for a lot of people. And I don't think anybody wants to have to deal with that, or have to worry about having their sons or daughters maybe even being sent to war. And this could end up really bad, okay? And that's why I'm sharing this news. This is very huge, because any little thing like this could just be a major act of escalation seen by Russia. And we never know if they could just declare war on NATO or whatever might be. And they've warned many times. Vladimir Putin's come out and said, don't send troops to Ukraine, or we'll completely obliterate them. And there's just lots and lots of crazy rhetoric and talk. And the escalation here is just absolutely massive lately. And it's very concerning at the same time. But let me know what you think down below. That's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this update, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.